Okay, guys, welcome to tonight's, to this video, right? So, this is a continuation or the concluding part of what I started last week, where I was explaining um, that there are different types of analysis. We have the technical, the fundamental, and the sentimental. And I said in the course of this masterclass, I will be teaching technical analysis. I might be talking about fundamental, sentimental, probably later in coming videos, but presently my focus is on technical analysis, right? I'm trying to simplify some complicated stuff. Not really that the things are complicated, but your mentors, your teachers, your influencers, because of their lack of understanding, have complicated these things, and it's really causing a lag in the growth of you know upcoming traders. Okay, that's the reason why basically this whole class and session is for beginners. I mean you have to start from beginner. Okay, I'm starting from beginner, then we move to pro, then to the advanced. Okay, so I just want to start from scratch, okay, so that everybody can flow along. Now, so I said, so we talked about technical analysis, and I explained that technical analysis is divided into two, it's categorized into two, that's indicators and price action. And I gave detailed explanation of indicators. I said indicators are subdivided into leading and lagging, and these are some examples of leading indicators, and these are some examples of lagging indicators. So for today, for this video, I'll be talking extensively about price action, and then in the next video we'll get into, now it's I would be creating videos on indicators, but there is really not much to talk about indicator actually, right? If you can just get your hands on the key details, you definitely not have issues with using indicator. I think it's one of the easiest things. That's why beginners kind of they are really comfortable using indicators, but as they advanced, they begin to want to use price action because of the accuracy and the fact that when you use price action, you get in the trade on time compared to indicators in some instance. Okay, now, so I'll just be giving a little bit talk and some tutorials, right? Probably 2 to 3 videos explaining indicators, how to engage them, because they are pretty simple to use. So that's the reason why it's not as if I'm not teaching it, I don't want to teach it. It's just that it's something that's very, very simple to assimilate and engage. Okay, the real work is in price action. Okay, because that's where the whole focus is. Okay, that's where there is the whole forex, the whole analysis controversy is around price action. Okay, but um for tonight, let's just get down to business. Okay, now you can't talk price action. Now let me define price action. Price action simply means the action of price, or what price is doing. Now, for remember in my forex class, I explained to you, I said um, the currencies moved from one price to another, right? So it is these prices that the currency moves from, to, and in between that price action study. Okay, so price action just looks at what price is doing. So the price action is like saying, why is euro USD at this price? Why did it leave this price? Why did it come to this price? Where is it going after hitting this price? Where would it want to go after hitting this price? Okay, so the why, the how, the where, the when will it go to this price? So it's the whole thing is around price. Okay, price. That's why, that's the reason why it's just called price action. Okay, I hope that definition is very simple. Now, price action are divided into several parts. There are lots of teachings out there that teaches price action. Okay, there are lots, in fact, numerous concepts, teachings, and stuff like that. But for the sake of this teaching, I'm just going to list the four major ones. Okay, when I say four major ones, I'm talking about the ones that are very popular, not that they are. There is only one that is, industrial recognized style of analysis, which is the supply and demand stuff. But there are some other concepts or ideology that of price action. Okay, and these concepts, they present price action in their own unique way. Okay, so if you understand this concept, so for some traders, they prefer to trade simple support and resistance. For some, they prefer to trade just plain market structure. For some traders, they prefer the SMC, and some prefer the MBM. Some prefer to just do Elliott wave and stuff like that. Okay, so all these things are actually concept and ideology behind price action. They are crafted and created by um meticulous individuals. Okay, people who are smart, and I mean advanced traders who have spent years and times on the chart and have noticed the repetition of some things in the market, and they crafted a concept um out of their observation. And the the concept which they crafted out became a model for other traders to follow. Okay, so these are just, there are a lot of them. That's what you should know. There are a lot of price action. Now, before I go into listing different type of price action, you cannot engage price action without the chart. And I'm going to put the chart here because it's really not categorized under price action. It is just like indicator. Okay, now just please listen, this is where it gets confusing. Price action is what price is doing, but how do you know what price is doing? You use the chart. I hope that is very explained, that's very understandable now. So the chart is what we use to know what price is doing. So the price action is printed on the chart. That's this one. I'll have to leave this one here. I'm coming back to it because here is where I'm going to be talking about different types of charts. Okay, now, like I said, I'm just going to be listing four concepts, which are the major ones. Okay, and out of these four concepts, there are more. Okay, there are more, but I'm just going to be listing these four concepts. Okay, so that at least I don't just want to complicate things. Okay, so we have this one here. This one should come here. Okay, I think I just open. Okay, I think this one should come here, like this, like this. I'm just trying to make sure that I do not, um, you know, make sure that I do not complicate the drawings for everyone. Okay, so let's just start from here. Okay, good. Okay, now I'm going to put some boxes under here. Now, the first one, which is the most popular one, is the support and resistance concept. Okay. The support and resistance concept, which is a very popular one. And this support and resistance is also the same thing as your um, S&D. That is the supply and demand. Okay. So it's still the same thing. Anybody that talks about support and resistance is still talking about, still talking about the supply and demand. Okay. It's just words. It's just like support is supply and support is demand, and resistance is supply and stuff like that. Okay. So they are pretty much talking about the same thing. Support and resistance is the same thing as S&D, supply and demand. Okay. The second style of trading, okay, the second concept actually is the market structure. And the controver there's a controversy, right, about market structure, that market structure is really not a concept of trading because of the fact that it is something that is embedded in market structure is something that every other concept uses. Okay. So it's kind of um it's just a controversy, but the point is it's a concept on its own. Okay. It's a concept on its own, and I don't want to be the one to say if it is or if it is not. But to me, I regard it as a different concept because there are a lot of things most people don't even know, and they think they are trading market structure, but they are just wasting their time on the charts. Now, the fourth one, which is the what's it called now? This one now is also quite popular, but that it's just an ideology. Okay. I don't want to say it's just an ideology, but this one is actually considered um an advanced kind of thing. Okay. Kind of concept. Okay. So when you see traders who trade the smart money concept or the ICT, now this smart money concept was actually um there's a guy on YouTube. His name is Michael J. Huddleston, right? He's the um, I think is the he has a group or an academy or an academy or a mentorship platform called the ICT, Inner Circle Trader. So he he claims, right, to be the um, originator or the engineer of the smart money concept. Okay, so he actually it teaches a lot of smart money concept on his YouTube channel. So the credit goes to him here. Okay, so if you, in case you want to get your hands on heavily laded information about smart money concept, you can just check him out on YouTube. Okay, and the last but not the least is the market business model. Now, this market business, did I get the spelling of business right? Now, the market business model is actually a concept that I teach, and it was founded and it was founded by me. Okay, I'm the creator of market business model. It's a model that I teach, and what is taught in the market business model is different from what's taught in SMC and support and resistance and other things. Okay, so they are what is taught in the market business model is um, based on experience. Like I explained to you that, of course, these concepts are based on experience, what people have seen in the market, veteran traders, and they're them seeing price for what price is, and coming up with their own perspective about price. So remember, I told you that price action is the one with lots of objectivity and controversy and stuff. And you can see that just one price action, we have support and resistance, market structure, SMC, market business model, and there are more. There are more because I remember reading the guy who created, the founder of the, what was it called? Elliott wave, right? And you know, he considered Elliott wave to be another concept different from supply and demand and stuff like from support and resistance, and he created based on supply and demand, but still claims that it's still a concept on its own. So there are a lot of things out there, but these are the four ones that I want you to know. Okay, if you wish to know more, you can just extend your research. Okay, just do that on your own. Now, the support and resistance, right, is a concept. So if I'm going to teach you this, I'm just going to bring it out, right? I'm going to clone it. Yeah, I'm going to bring it out here. That means I'm creating an entirely new uh, uh, um, tab, right? And then I'm going to start teaching it because it's a concept on its own. So if supply and demand is what will be taught, then supply and demand is, if support and resistance is still the same thing. I interchange it, but it's the same thing. Okay, support and resistance is what I'm going to be teaching. Then there are lots and lots and lots of things we're going to be creating on that because it's a new tab on its own. It's a new concept on its own. Similarly, when we get to market structure, we create a new tab. Now, the good thing about this concept is that when you understand some or all or most of them, you give yourself an advantage. Okay, so now most people will think, oh, because market structure is what they trade, they don't need support and resistance or market business model, but that's wrong. All these things are body of knowledge. What is opened to a smart money concept trader or smart money concept creator is not open to a market business model creator. Similarly, what's opened or what a market business model creator knows or market business model trader knows is limited to whatever is inside this concept. So whatsoever a market structure trader knows, a market business model trader might not know that. Okay, so that's why interlocking this and understanding them as per increasing your library of knowledge as a trader is key to your growth, okay, and profitability. So you'll be doing yourself favor if you remain neutral, okay. So you actually understand each concept and you trade them effectively. Personally, I started when I was trading, I started with support and resistance. That was when I was starting out as a beginner. Then I moved to market structure, and then I moved to smart money concept. And trust me, I think I had the peak of my analysis when I was trading, when I was learning market smart money concept, right? And after um, perfecting and growing and becoming an advanced trader and reaching my peak, I decided that I begin to see some stuff on the chart that are not being taught in these three stuff, and I began to note them out. And after years of collating, study, practicing, testing, and stuff like that, I created the market business model. Okay, so like I said, what made me create the MBM is because what is I saw on the chart I ain't being taught here, and they are key for, you know, what I consider to be price delivery. Okay, so we'll get down to business. So let's just get down to business now. Before I talk about support and resistance, right? I want to correct something. Everything, every concept, be it S&D, be it MS, be it SMC, be it MBM, every concept are based on price action. In other words, everything you see, whatsoever grammar that is being given to whatsoever terminologies that is being created, are still based on what is on the chart, based on price action. So whatever terminologies is being taught is on the chart. It's not as if somebody brought it into the chart. It's not as if somebody created, or the concept, whoever created the concept created that stuff and put it on the chart. No. So what I'm trying to say here is that you can go to the same chart and begin to see things differently from the way somebody created his own concept. But as a beginner, I advise you just flow. When you get to a stage, you begin to see price for price itself. Okay, not the way. Now, my point is, don't limit yourself to saying, oh, because the market business model teaches that, let's say the market business model teaches that a certain price is called the WPL, which is the whole point level, or whole price level. Don't just assume that because that concept is found in the MBM, it is, how will I put it? It was created by the MBM and put into the chart. No, this stuff had been on the chart since the since the chart have been created. This stuff had been on the chart since the 90s, since the 80s, since when the forex market started. Okay, so it's nobody's own, right? Whatsoever is on the chart is nobody's own. It is the identification of zones, levels, price, and other things on the chart that traders, right, can put claims to. Okay, so don't say because for example, there's a term in this smart money concept about I think it's the order block, right? So the order block has always been on the chart, but the smart money concept helps you to identify something called the order block on your chart, and then it teaches you the functions or everything that surrounds the order block. Now, this does not mean that this thing have never been there, or probably smart money concept was the one that brought those functions into it. No, these things have been there from the start, even before whoever created the smart money concept started trading or even heard about forex. Just that it is true, the meticulousness, the calmness, and the years of practices and experience and growth that made the creator of smart money concept to note that there is a repetition of price to this stuff and gave it the name order block for the sake of identification, and studied it carefully, and came up with a teaching on it. Okay, so I just have to say that so that you won't think that people are who have their concept, or people who create certain concepts, or who believe in certain terminologies, are the ones who brought those things. They are the ones who create those candles is still on the chart. No. So you need to know that. Okay, if you understand this, you would be neutral and you would want to Just keep an open mind, okay? Now let's proceed. Now, please hold on. I'm just going to check if I think this should be the um end of my class, right? This thing. I think I should start the next one. Now, I I can't talk about support and resistance without first of all talking about the charts, okay? So I'm just going to, what I'm going to do is in the next video I'll be talking about the chart because that's the next thing, right? So I'm just going to clone that, right? I'm going to clone that and I'm going to drag it down here. So before I talk about support and resistance, right, I'm going to talk about the chart because you can't understand support and resistance if you don't even know what the chart is, how the chart is being created, what is being created on the chart, this the breaking down of whatsoever happens on the screen. When you understand what happens on the screen, then it makes sense to now start explaining support and resistance to you. Then it won't be as if I'm talking to myself, okay? So in the next video I'll be talking about charts, and hopefully I'll be able to finish talking about charts. And when I'm talking about charts, I'm talking about the time frame, the candlesticks. Now I'm going to say this and you can argue with your mentor. There is nothing like candlestick pattern. Yeah, there's nothing like candlestick pattern. That's number one. And number two, there is nothing like trend line, price breakout and retesting trend line. There's nothing like trend line the way you guys have been taught. Trend line exists, but it is an indicator, not a price engagement technique. Yeah, I need you to first of all go and trash that out with whoever has taught you all those things you hear, Morningstar, Doji, Tweezers, those stuff. There's nothing like candlestick. Now, I taught candlestick patterns to my mentees, right? My students, when I was having my, I think some years back when I was still trading blindly. And so far, I've been able to correct them. And since we dropped that ideology of candlesticks, we've been experiencing massive growth. In fact, it's just something. If you trade candlestick patterns, you will be wrong 90% over 100. Okay, so there's nothing like candlestick. Wherever you've learned it, you need to trash it out. And there's nothing like trend line too. Don't worry, I'm going to be explaining it. You see, the goal of what I'm doing here is just to, I've seen that this industry, people have complicated things too much. I mean, these are things that are very simple and glaring to you straight up, but because of you you have the influence and you have people who are under you who are learning, you feel like you can just throw things to them. And the fault is not even with the mentors. The fault is with those who called them mentors, the mentees. The fault is with them because somebody throws something out to you and then you just have to download it, swallow it hook, line, and sinker. You don't regurgitate, you don't back test, you don't check to test the efficiency of what you've been taught. And this is the reason why in this hemisphere, in this Nigerian forex industry, we will always have traders who are losing. But I mean, it all starts from someone just teaching things the right way it's supposed to be and start having profitable traders. Yeah, I know experience is part of it, but ex- that experience is the excuse your mentors use and tell you that if you are not being profitable now, you need to get experience. You can be profitable while accumulating experiences. Yeah, you're going to have beginners, failures, you know, and fuck ups and stuff that you learn to avoid as you grow. But the point I'm trying to make here is, it is not because something is taught to you, right, doesn't mean you just have to download it like that. Not everything taught is right. In fact, some things are wrong and they will still play out, but it doesn't remove the fact that it's wrong. So, like I said, my goal on this channel is just to expose you, to guide you, and to show you that all these long stories about, I mean, support and resistance, and then creating over 200 pages PDF just to teach support and resistance, is just to complicate things. The price or the market is very, 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 very open, and it takes an open mind to be able to access them. Okay, so why I'm not asking you for money. I'm not asking you to subscribe to my mentorship, right? Because I'm not even giving you everything here. It will be unfair to my students for me to throw out everything here. Okay, so I will definitely be reserving lots of things, but just have it at the back of your mind that if you can put in the time, whatever you learn here, and you practice it, you backtest it, and you groom yourself to comply with it, you begin to see results. Okay, so that's it for this class, for this session. Till next class, happy trading.